Sitting here watching the local baseball game in my little town here that I want to talk to you about today. And I wasn't planning to do this post today. In fact, I wasn't planning on becoming an activist today, but I got thrown right into the fray. And it's because of all of y'all, okay? So I want to thank you all for inspiring me, for showing me. Don't eat that one, it's a spicy one, buddy. Spicy fly. For showing me what it looks like to speak truth to power, to do the thing when you're afraid, when you've been conditioned your whole life to not rock the boat, right? And to just help wake people up. That's what this is all about. And I experienced it in microcosm today, and I want to share it with you. Okay, so I live in this town, moved out here during COVID, and very 70-year-old, house on a street, just as old, and not a lot going on here until they started building a lot of condos, lots of condos. And I noticed right away that while there was a strip joint around the corner from me, there's no grocery store. Don't get me started about there's no liquor store. That's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. But the grocery store, really? So my daughter works at the closest one, which is like a 10-minute drive. And because of all the condos going up, there's only like 4 lanes, 2 lanes going each way on this one road. So you have to sit there in traffic at times for like 20, 30 minutes just to go buy I was going to say a bag of milk, because that's what we do in Canada. I don't do it. I don't drink milk. But anyway, so frustrating. And I just put up with it. And over the years, I've said stuff to people. I've mentioned it. And people go, yeah, we don't like that either. But they say that there's not enough demand for groceries here. So I'm like, really? They keep building condos. And more than that, there's a outdoor furniture store around the corner from me. I'm like, what gives? Ollie and I walk by there every day multiple times. I have never seen more than the one car that the owner drives in there. You thinking what I'm thinking, right? And then I find out that was a grocery store until 1996. I'm also becoming a sleuth as well as an activist. Okay, I don't want to say too much here because I'm already in trouble in this town. and that phrase is coming up into play in a few minutes. Stay with me. This is a good story. Okay, so I'm like, nobody goes into that store. And that store's been around about as long as the only grocery store at the way far end of town is. There's so many elderly people here. And a lot of them don't drive, right? How are they going to get their groceries? Plus, it's really expensive, and it's owned by the oligarchs of Canada. They own most of the grocery stores here, right? So are you doing the math? I'm doing the math. The math ain't mathin', although it is if you have the right theory, which I do. Anyway, can't speak to that. But as I was walking Ollie today, I saw 2 signs for, application for development, condos going in here, more condos going in here. And the second one I saw, I snapped. I farging snapped. Right, Ollie? It's like, whoa, she snapped. Okay, because I'm like, okay, you keep bringing people in here. We've got this. Oh, and I didn't even say the pièce de résistance. Down the street, there's a giant strip joint, and it is gnarly, y'all. It even has what looks like a little, mini motel attached to it. I mean, it was closed down when we moved in because it was during COVID, and I thought, oh, good, that eyesore will be gone soon. Never have I wanted condos to go in more. But no, the joint just came alive one night, and it's been jumping ever since. So I went home and I wrote a letter to the counselor of this supposed city and told him of my concerns that people can't get fresh food. If you want to eat in a sustainable way, see, even the baseball team agrees with me, if you want to eat in a sustainable way, we need a grocery store. And why is it that all the other grocery stores have gone? And people are like, well, in the past people have said to me, there's not enough people to feed. But a city block can be taken up by an outdoor furniture store that doesn't do any business. So I sent all of that to him and I said, surely there is more need for groceries and food than lap dances in this town. Snap. Okay. So I start to freak out because I'm like, my inner voice is screaming. I've been doing a lot of inner child work this week, and the crows were talking to me today, and they were telling me something. And all of it started, I started piecing it together. I'm like, the message was, you're meant to get into some good trouble. Right? Get into good trouble, girl. But my inner child is like, you're going to get in trouble. You're going to get in trouble. Oh my God. They even used to sing it too, to me. My friends or my brother, you're going to get in trouble. And so I started but I still went on the Facebook page for the local neighborhood here and thought, I'm going to wake people up. And I was expecting there to be a little bit of controversy, but I was not expecting what happened next. Okay. So I could have posted anonymously. I didn't. I decided, no, I got a voice. I actually felt called. I'm like, I'm being called. And I kept checking in with my guides, and they're here right now. I was like, am I going off half cocked? No, in fact, I was fully cocked. Okay. Okay. So, I started fielding all these comments. Everybody was defending the status quo. Nobody is questioning it. Furthermore, they're giving me hell. They're angry. They're aggressive. They're hostile. The owner of the patio furniture store went, "How dare you compare me to a strip joint?" I was like, I didn't, but okay. Actually, if I'm going to, the strip joint at least pulls in money. The strip joint at least makes financial sense. I didn't say that. I used my interruptive empathy, and I spoke to people saying, yes, it's true that, right? But have you considered this? So people are screaming, like if they could scream on Facebook, you know what I'm saying, all caps and everything, like, you're not doing anything. What are you doing? Do you want the city? Go and buy them then. Go buy these buildings then. And I said, no, you don't need to be a real estate mogul to be an activist, to talk to your local counselor, to talk about different zoning, to talk about what the options are here, and to demand an account of what has been going on, because I smell something stinky around here. And other people do too. They're just afraid. They're afraid and they're asleep. And so I dealt with them as such. I had a few people who were, going to bat for me, as it were. But most of them are still asleep. And I thought, I am being called to do this right now. I know it's really small, y'all, but I think today I realized, like, I am so tired, and I had a dream in the night that really confirms this. I am so tired of going along to get along and just accepting status quo and letting the old systems and the oligarchs run my life. My life is affected every single damn day because of this. My property value is probably going to go down if this keeps happening, right? Somebody's lining somebody's pockets, and it's not mine. And I guarantee you it's none of the people in the comment section who were defending it, except one, perhaps. Are you following me? If you're still here, I love you. Okay, so that is what I am doing. That is what I feel called to do. But I said, okay, I just want to make sure I'm not being hot-headed about this. I checked in, ego was in check. I was like 95% aligned. And I said, okay, but please, I'm feeling a little needy right now because I have just broken through something really big. I've spoken up for others, but to speak up and take a risk like I'm taking right now it's significant for me. So I was like, guys, can you just give me a song? Can you just give me a song that says I'm into good trouble? This is really important. This is aligned with what I'm here to do. And this song came on. The Carpenters, Sing, which has come up a few times. Spirits sent it to me a few times. It brings me right back to my Sesame Street days. It brings me right back to my childhood, that time when I feared getting in trouble. And it's such a simple, deceptively simple song. But listen to the lyrics. Don't worry if it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing. Sing a song. And so I am singing, and I encourage all of you to keep singing. Your voice is important. Your voice matters. Never accept the status quo. The status quo is so last year, so last century, so last decade. We are creating a new world. What's it going to be?